So yeah, we have this crazy energy because we're going into the full moon in Capricorn on, I believe, Wednesday. Venus moved into Gemini on Friday. Neptune retrograde. We're going to be in Mercury retrograde like in another week or so. So it's a lot happening. Any of you feeling, hey, Dana, there we go. There's the comments on YouTube. We got it. Hi, Sarah. Thank you. I feel good. I feel good. No, not doing any paid readings. We're going to do just a live general collective reading for everybody. Hi, Melissa. How are you? We're going to see what's going on in the energies. Hi, Sarah. Yes, now is working. I wonder why it wasn't before. But again, Mercury retro, I mean, I know we're not there yet, but you're exhausted. How many of you have had a headache? You've been feeling exhausted? I would just, oh, people are very moody today, Debbie? Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I was just saying earlier today, I just feel like this is like a neither nor kind of vibe, like hangman energy, not good, not bad. It's so in between. Yeah, my hair is shorter. Yes, we did cut a bit off because we wanted to make sure it's extra healthy, especially if I made my hair blonder, because now my hair is blonder than it was before. You couldn't get out of bed. That's been me a lot lately, Teal. Like I feel I'm motivated, but I'm not looking to do anything quickly at the moment, like anything. Like I'm slow as anything right now. You've got a lot of head pressure and anxiety, Becca? Interesting. I've been hearing that. And I didn't feel the sinus pressure or the head pressure, but I know people have. People coming back the long holiday weekend and they are tired. Yes, that too. That too. Peter said tired, headache, little dizzy, depressed. Yeah, I mean, I heard a video or listened to a video the other day about the Schumann resonance, and is in like Mother Earth having a panic attack and people are feeling that energy. Yeah, and same, you know, so remember I said at the full moon Zoom, I'm gonna get that video ready? Couldn't. I just could not. I didn't have it in me. I did not have it in me. Yeah, so nice to meet you too. Sarah, it's so lovely to see you, honestly. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, a lot of people are just very, very exhausted. And I also feel like, as I said earlier, you know, this feels so dark and dreary out all of a sudden. Like I'm looking out my windows and it looks windy and it looks like gonna rain. It's I don't know, it's just an odd feeling in the air. And it wasn't like this earlier. Was machen? What are we doing today? We're reading cards. We're reading cards and energy. You're exhausted and heavy. I get it. It's gray there too. Yeah. Hi, Kath. How are you? I still love wearing red. Yes. It was raining this morning in Gatineau. So yeah, you're not that far, Matt, really. Oh. Well, let's get into it. Let's just see what the vibes are. Yeah, thunderstorm today. It feels like it's coming. It does. Thank you, Kellyanne. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hi, Brian. How are you? Hi, Sanzi. All right, let's do it. Let's see what's going on. Current energy. 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior. How many of you got the wounds coming to the surface? Hi, Tanya. I'm well, thank you. There's some wounds coming to the surface. Dealing with things that have hurt you or being tested. Hi, Darlene. You know what's interesting? I took a nap on Saturday, okay? Had a crazy dream, a very specific dream. That night, it's almost like I had the same dream over again, just in a slightly different context. And you know me, what I say when we talk about dreams, I say, look, these are tests, right? Are you in the old? Are you in the new? How many of you are having very, very vivid dreams? This tarot deck, Mel, this is Crystal Visions. It's the Crystal Visions deck. This kind of looks like you, Mel. This is like you right here with the lion, this Leo energy. Hi, Herberto, how are you? And yeah, long time no see. So I had very vivid dreams on the weekend. I mean, I have vivid dreams every single day of my life. I mean, this is nothing new to me. But I will say that like specific ones like lately where I'm just like, oh my gosh, testing, testing. Hi, Dia, how are you? Yeah, she looks like a baddie, Mel. Let's see. Okay, 9 of Wands. The baggage card. Well, there's a lot of baggage in the 9 of Wands. But you got to empty those bags and prepare yourself for new adventures. I'm well, thank you. You've been woken up at 3 a.m. Yeah, Diana, at 3 a.m. is that time where we call it like witching hour, you know, where the veil is most thin, where you're getting the most messages. You haven't been able to get into a deep enough sleep to be able to dream. But I also think that there's energy that keeps waking us up. It's that full moon vibe, you know? Yeah, it's a collective reading. So let's see what else we need to know. Renewal and spark. The end is the beginning is the end. It's this real strong feeling that we're about to shift into other energy. We're like waiting for that little bit of a nudge or that something unexpected of that Uranus energy to come through. Now keep in mind, Uranus and Gemini is like a 7-year cycle. This is not something necessarily that's going to hit us today or tomorrow. I mean, it may, who knows? But it is something that over the next 7 years is going to shift us quite a bit. You could do with some spark. I hear you, Deb. Nothing wrong with a little bit of fire and energy, right? To push us forward. Yeah, this is the pre-vibe for the dun 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 Capricorn full moon. ML, I'm laughing. Remember when you and I were talking about the Capricorn full moon like ages ago? And I was like, Capricorn moon, it's gonna be a Capricorn moon. And it wasn't. It was the Sag moon. I was jumping ahead. So whatever it was that I was feeling way back then, I mean, like, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens Wednesday. You found yourself this month thinking about an ex out of the blue, the one who sparked the twin flame journey. All you can do is focus on yourself, Sarah. That's really all it is, because it's your own awakening. Yeah, get the shift in gear already. I hear you. I hear you. You got your popcorn ready. And Mel, that's the best thing you can do right now, honestly, is just lean back. Lean back. Don't even try to do anything necessarily. Now, I will say this. Keep in mind, the full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign that likes to get things done, right? You know that this is a good time to achieve your goals. Don't try to force anything, but this is the time if you really want to do something that you've been waiting to do, right? Hi, Subradip, how are you? So let's see, potential or challenge. 10 of Cups. I've seen a lot of 10s lately. You know, look, the potential here is that you can have the happiness. The challenge is, are you going to let it in? You know? Hi, Prab. How are you? Unfortunately, I can't. I would if I could, but if I do one, then I have to do for everybody. We're doing just a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Bless you too. No, the tests are always going to be there. They're always going to be there. Hi, haters. How are you, my friend? Hi, Maria. Hi, Jeff. So yeah, I mean, I would just say that right now, you've got to ask yourself, what does happiness look like? What is happiness to you? What makes you happy? What would make you happy? But what within yourself do you need to do to bring yourself happiness? Because another person's not going to bring it to you. You have to bring it to yourself. And I was explaining this to somebody today, that people will treat you differently when you treat yourself better. When you find your happiness, when you do things to spark new energy, people will treat you differently. The energy coming towards you will be lighter. You won't have as much conflict. Things will just shift. So far, so good, haters. It's been awesome. No complaints, really. Busy, but it's been good. How about you? I love calling you haters because I love your username. Good afternoon, Jen. Yeah, we just started. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Sarah. I really do. It means a lot to me. You're welcome. Look, if I can bring something to you and to others, then I know I've done something right. Because a lot of this is repetition, believing in yourself. Hi, Erin, how are you? It's striving for better. How do you pick a new life direction if your only choices are direct opposites? There's nothing wrong with opposites, Erin. Sometimes the opposite can be really fulfilling. Like, how do you know it's not going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you? Like, really, how do you know? Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. How do you know? It's all good. It's all good, Jen. We're still in the opening cards. 10 of Cups to Labyrinth. The problem here is that we have a lot to sort out, and you can't let that overwhelm you and give up. You know, there's such a difference between giving up and surrender. I say it all the time. I've been saying this for years. Look, you never give up. I will not let you give up. Surrender means you're going to let go, let God, let the universe take the wheel, let things unfold, but you got to spark new energy in some capacity. Something has to give. Something's got to change. Hi, Linda. Hi, Vikash. Thank you, Deshi. I appreciate it. Hi, Richard. There's this energy that says, sort it out, figure it out, do something. In order to get out of the maze or out of the labyrinth, you have to do something to find a way. Try every opportunity. Be a Roomba vacuum, as I always say. What does a Roomba do? It spins around the room. If it hits the wall, just redirects itself. Redirect yourself if you hit a wall. What else can you do? Thank you, Carla. And look, here's the Mars energy. Drive, passion, attraction. Hot. I don't know, maybe it's the red I'm wearing today. Maybe it's the heat. How do I, from myself, like how do I spark new energy? I like to learn. I'll learn new things. I will try new things. Like, remember last year I was going, or last year, it was even a few months ago still, I would go play volleyball, a rec volleyball league. I didn't know anybody there other than one person. And then I got to know some other people, and now I'm part of a team. And, you know, it's something that gave me new energy, new experience. If it's a dating situation, I've always put myself out there. I've never stopped. I never will, because I will always want to get better. And if I get better, I'm going to manifest better every single time. And that's the whole point, Debbie. Debbie just said, every time I try to do something new I want to do, I'm always faced with barriers, because it's never that simple. You're always going to have barriers. You're always going to have obstacles, because it's testing you. How badly do you want it? Yeah, volleyball is fun. I mean, I'm not into the volleyball where like I'm in the Olympics here. I'm only 5'2". There's only so much I can do. But I mean, for new energy and for fun, absolutely. Hi, Corey. How are you? Hi, Bismarck. So, bonjour, Jill. Ça va bien? So yeah, I mean, you know, it's how badly do you want new energy for yourself? And the thing is, we can talk about it. Yeah, be positive. We can talk about it, but if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Hi, Eleanor. And that's really hard for people. And I recognize that. But I always take it upon myself to follow what I tell you. I'm not going to do as I say, not as I do. I need to follow that. So I wouldn't tell you something that I wouldn't do personally. Hi, the boy next door. How are you? You feel challenges in several areas. It's natural, Eleanor. It's natural. Pick something and small steps. Hi, Ella. How are you? Exactly. It's so true, Matt. So true. All right, let's see what we should focus on today. Death and rebirth, Scorpio energy. This is what it's about. And look, again, your new life is going to cost your old life. It's not easy for anybody. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody's on a different timeline. Everybody's got different goals. Exactly, Sarah, because your body listens to you. That's the thing. And because Sarah was just saying, I have to constantly tell myself positive affirmations going through health shit. Absolutely. Like, your body listens to you. Everything you say to yourself, it's listening. Oh, thank you, Jill. I love red. You're currently and constantly trying to push forward. Yes. A lot of death and rebirth. It's necessary. Hi, Kelly. How are you? From one Kelly to another. Fishing pole. Whenever I say pole, I have to say P-O-L-E, as in fishing pole. Or if I'm saying, let's take a poll, P-O-L-L. Because, you know, in our online family, we need to know the difference because our mind goes to different things. You're right, Matt. It's our own mind that can change the perspective. For sure. Okay, so fishing pole is about extending oneself. You've got to put yourself out there. It's what I was just saying. You've got to put yourself out there. What do you have to lose really at a certain point? If things are not working and you're doing the same thing over and over again, right? Remember the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if you're doing something and it's not working, something's got to change. Yeah, give yourself grace, 100%. Sarah, we're all human. We're all human. Hi, Sherry, how are you? Well, Kelly, there's messages. We're doing a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. See, there's regret and repression. Well, two things here. A lot of people right now, I think, are repressing their feelings. They're afraid. But then the regret side of things is, how do you know something isn't going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? Don't sit there with regrets. I mean, I look at it like this. Do I have any regrets? Very good question. I would say for the most part, no. Like really, 99% no. Now, are there things that I think I could do differently? Absolutely. But I wouldn't say that I have any regrets. What I've been through in life has been for a reason. And I'm here to learn from those experiences. But if you don't take any chances, how will you know? How will you know? That's a regret, not taking chances. Right? So just make sure that, oh, you just whispered that? The insanity reference? Yeah. But it's so true though. A lot of the times people, and I really do say this with love and respect, a lot of times people will say to me, like, I don't know why things aren't changing. Okay, so what are you doing to change it? Tell me. What are you doing different? What is something you've tried? You know? Hi, Sarah. It's kind of like going to your doctor, you know, and let's say you've said to your doctor, and I've had these conversations, you go to your doctor and like, okay, so what have you tried to be healthier? Okay, well, I've tried keto, I've tried carnivore, I've tried exercise, I've tried this, I've tried that. Okay, if you've tried everything you possibly can, totally get it. But what are you doing to actually try to change your situation? If you can't list things, then you have to look internally and say, why is that? So, and you got to keep going, Eleanor. That's really what it is, right? The first step is always to really pinpoint what you want, not just a vague generalization. You're right, Kat, 100%. Most people just don't know what they want and they're afraid to ask for what they want. You know? What the change you see, yeah. Well, that's the thing. People, you can't measure spirituality or divine change. You have to believe in the things you can't see. You know? Well, the best way to book an appointment with me? Oh, in my through email. If you tried to DM me through Instagram, my DMs are shut. So sometimes people will say, "Oh, I DM'd you." My DMs are closed. But if you email me, absolutely. Or you can go to my website, kellylorraine111.com, and then when it comes through, then I email you. But either way, you can always email me. You've been successful with change? You got to switch it up. Yeah, it's hard. Change is hard. Oh, thank you, Level Up. I appreciate it. Thank you. My email address is kellylorraine111 at outlook.com. So kellylorraine111 at outlook.com. But see, Maria, the thing is that, so Maria just said, but it can be disappointing when new energy ventures feel off. It feels off because you're not used to it. It could be just fear. You know, it really, sometimes it feels off because it's fear, not because it actually is bad. It's because it's not in the comfort zone. And as I always say, if the comfort zone's so comfortable, why do we want to leave it? You know? Hi, Alex. Sarah just said, I've been to hell and back, lost everything several times, health, married, everything, but it's made you who I am. Yeah, it's made you who you are. Yeah, and you're still going through it, but you know you'll help people. And of course you will. You are already. And that's a beautiful thing because it's experience that not only helps yourself, helps others. How do you think I built this online family? It was being vulnerable and sharing things that I've been through. That's what makes people connect. It's the human condition. And you're right, fear is an illusion. Absolutely. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? So the recent past is the Lovers. Gemini energy, deep soul connection. I say that with a sigh because matters of the heart have been really pounding lately. The heart pounding. You can just feel that energy lately, you know? So, hi, Tika. How are you? No, I don't, Danica. Not many people. I mean, it's up to you. I would just be very careful of those type of readings. So let's see. How many of you have been feeling the lovey vibes lately? Well, I think, Eleanor, I'm gonna make a guess, because I don't know all the details, but I would just say to you that the connection is more to spark you than anything else. And it's not giving up. It's called surrendering and putting energy into yourself is what I'm thinking. I think what that is, Eleanor, is more like internal fighting. It's not so much fighting with another person, it's internally. And I'll give you an example, not saying that this is you specifically, but I've had people say to me in the past, but Kelly, I feel like they're mad at me. I feel like they're mad at me. It's not that they're mad at you. You're mad at yourself. It's an internal thing. Whatever you're feeling or you think you're reading or feeling in someone else that you're connected to, oftentimes it's really just you. But we like to make it that it's someone else because it feels better in that aspect. But in reality, it's within ourselves. You know, that's why I say it's a test. Are you in the old or are you in the new? It's about ourselves. How much are we willing to put ourselves first? Hi, Lucia. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Because every connection that you encounter that is a spark or that you assume to be a deep soul connection or a twin flame journey, yes, there's a reason for it, but the reason is ultimately you, not the romance of it. The romance comes when you've put yourself first. That's why they say inner union, a union with another person, right? So, thank you, Sarah. Self-love. I mean, like, how do you think you get better? Keep putting yourself out there, experience new people, let yourself be triggered. That's really what it comes down to. You get better, they get better. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It is the most difficult thing to do. There's nothing worse than being heartbroken or thinking that it's going to be one way, but then it turns out another, and you invest so much. Eleanor, I would still say to you, focus on other connections. And I know most people don't want to do that, and I say that with love and respect. It's up to you. It's up to any of you. But it's going to come at a certain point where you have to. I think we just prolong it, you know, because we say we've got this, and this to do. There's still room. There's still room for putting yourself out there romantically. It's just that people are in fear of it, afraid of it, afraid of getting hurt, you know. A lot of it is, Zohab, it's a lot of self-love. There are people out there. There's 8 billion people in this world. There are people to find, but we attract what we put out, and I say that respectfully. Same goes for me, same goes for all of you. What you are working on in yourself is what you will meet in somebody else, because like attracts like. So let's see. Bonfire. Yeah, there's a fiery, I know, I get it. It's a very romantic connection. By the way, this is the big O card. And when you put that, and when you put that with the Lovers, obviously, right? I get it, Eleanor, but there's still that facet that is beyond this person and beyond the court case. There's room. There's room. But again, it takes time to recognize that. Because there's always a connection between our romantic relationships, our work, our success. It's all connected. Why do you think love is the last thing to manifest? Exactly, Kelly. That's the lesson. Yeah, Eleanor. I mean, Eleanor, if you want to talk about it, we can definitely talk about it. I'm happy to do so. And like I said, I support you no matter what you do. There's no right or wrong. But I would just say from experience and talking to thousands of people, the important thing is to always put yourself out there, no matter what. Hi, Amanda. How are you? So let's see. The recent past as well here with this deck. See, past, lack, and suffering. I just want to make a point. Yeah, okay, there's past energies and suffering, but the lack is, yeah, I understand, Eleanor. I really do. Believe me, I do. It's a process, and it's going to be okay. I got you. Like I said, there's no right or wrong, but you're doing the right thing by focusing more on yourself. That's a definite. That's a definite. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Amanda. It's tough energy right now. It really is tough energy. But the lack, you know, when people are living in lack, especially when it comes to love or self-love, it trickles into other areas. If you don't believe you can have something, then things just don't manifest, you know? So I get it. But something's got to change, right? Or it forces us to change. And that's why I'm saying I don't want any of you to have tower moments. But at the same time, sometimes tower moments are very helpful. Because when we're not listening and we're not making changes or shifting enough, the universe has a way of making it happen. Yeah, comparison's a killer. For sure it is. Thank you, Thomas. Hi, Rohit. How are you? So the strength position right now is the Four of Cups, possibly missing out on an opportunity because of overthinking. You know? Kind of feeling a bit stuck as well, right? I think a lot of people are right now. They're in that in-between. Yeah, I totally get it, Eleanor. Yeah. No, you can't change how anyone views you. Absolutely not. But then again, Eleanor, like I said, as I'm reading your comments, I really don't know the whole, so that's why it's hard for me to totally, like I said, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I get the gist, I believe, from what I'm reading. Bye, Jill. Hi, Beverly. So Four of Cups and the Mother Lode. The Mother Lode is all about hitting the jackpot. It's about prosperity. And we just talked about this. If we feel like we're in lack, we're always going to be in lack. You know? If you think something's going wrong, it's going to go wrong. Or if we feel like we've been hard done by, where it's like, oh my gosh, why did this happen to me? Why did they do this to me? How did they do this to me? They need to pay for this. They need to, all of those things, that energy brings you exactly what you don't want. It's picking battles very wisely. And this talks about nurturing and compassion, having compassion for yourself. At the same time, nurturing energy means going slowly, trusting the process, allowing things to unfold, not trying to force anything. Because anytime we're trying to force something, it's absolutely working against us. Nobody should force anybody into anything. So, Amanda, in what sense when you say keep it real, referring to what specifically? Of course we're allowed to keep it real. We're human. We're human. But give me a specific and I can address it. You know? We have to be kind to ourselves for sure. And kind to others. Hi, Virginia. How are you? When life is rough, it's rough. It is, Amanda, for sure. But if we dwell in that everything is rough, then everything's going to be rough. You know, there is a positive to everything. You know, I would say that I've gone through some pretty terrible things in my life. I think all of us can say that. But there does come a point where we can't dwell and sit in that forever. Because if we sit in victim mentality or think that everything is against us, we're just going to have everything against us. And so I would go back to what Dr. Joe Dispenza says about being in a bad mood. He says, okay, if you're in a bad mood or you're angry about something, be mad, be in that mood. But do not let that mood linger, because a mood turns into a temperament. And that temperament, if it doesn't stop, turns into a personality. And what's a personality? It's your personal reality. So a bad mood can fester itself into something way bigger than it needs to be. I mean, how many of you have ever been in a bad mood and you let it go too long? And then all of a sudden you kick yourself later because you're like, why did I let that get to me the way that I did? And people who consistently ruminate and tell themselves bad things manifest bad things or feel like the world is against them. And I understand that there are circumstances where you cannot control the cards you've been dealt, for sure not. But you can control how you respond to those cards. Yeah. So Dana just said we got to look at what it's trying to teach us versus why me. You know, and I think that if we just lay down and be like, well, this sucks, well, guess what? Of course it's going to suck. What else did we expect? But if we go, okay, this sucks, however, I can't stay in this energy, you find a way to make a change somehow. None of this is easy. Definitely none of this is easy. I would never tell you it's easy, but anything is possible. Yeah, the vibration you put out is what you get back. Yeah. And you're going to have good days and not so good days. Absolutely. But to a certain point, there's got to be a shift that eventually gets better, right? And a lot of this comes down to what we're willing to accept and not willing to accept. And I'm very proud of you, Sarah. You're a really bright soul. You really are. Kelly just said, I asked myself, how can I change this? You spark new energy. You find ways to spark new energy. Kat just said, I'd be an insufferable bee if I sat in the crappy energy of these past 7 years. It's tough. Faith is important. Absolutely, Amanda. Faith with action, though. Because this is a thing I always say about trusting the process that is so hard for people to understand in general. Not any of you specifically, I just mean people. And that is, trusting the process does not mean waiting. It doesn't mean sitting there going, okay, when? It means living life, sparking new energy, experiences, new people, new hobbies, trying different avenues, and letting things attract to you. But if we sit and wait and just say, well, I hope for this, it's not attracting the things that you want, because hoping for something and just waiting means living in lack, means I don't have it. That's why when people come into the live, and I say this all to you with love and respect, and people say, well, when will I find love? When will I be happy? When will it be my turn? Well, the problem with that is that when is a question word. When is doubt. It means you don't have it. And I know there's nothing wrong with asking a question. Like, this comes from a teacher perspective. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. The problem is that when it's a constant when, will I be happy? Will I have love? Will I have success? Will I have my new job? Will means you don't have it. That's because, Amanda, it's all about surrender. Surrender. Not give up, surrender. Let things unfold. You know, it's tough. Hi, Rubber Duck, how are you? Exactly. You're right, Matt. Patience is learning, right? Hi, Yusuf. The cats are good, Lucia. The cats are good. But I understand how tough it is for people, because it's all about perspective and what experiences we've had and the hurts that we've had, the traumas, the triggers, the hurts, everybody has a different story, right? At the same time, what is universal is amazing, Amanda. That's so good. What's universal is that we're all gonna go through tough times. We all go through the maturation process. It's not easy to grow up. Ask anybody. Ask anybody who's been a teenager. It's not easy to grieve. You're gonna grieve relationships and you're gonna grieve the loss physically of loved ones, right? That's universal. How you respond is up to you. But from a human standpoint, we all go through very similar situations. That's why there's no right or wrong way, in a sense, because you're going to have to find a way through it. Yeah, Kat just said, I can't control things that occur or how others are, but I can control how I respond and allow in my energy. And that's the thing I say also about the systems of the world, the politics, the medical system, the school system. Look, when we're getting angry and fighting over things that are at the top, you cannot change anything at the top, not even remotely. Like you can't even put a wedge or carve out a little piece of it because you don't have that scope or that ability. But you do have the ability to change what you do. Thank you, Amethyst. I love you too. I appreciate it. You have the ability to change what you do. I cannot change the school system. I cannot change the medical system. I cannot change the politics. But all I can do is hope that whatever I radiate spreads to other people. I'm living proof of this. How many of you say trust the process? Short-term pain, long-term gain. How many of you say how many rounds do you want to go? How many of you say are you in the old or are you in the new? This is proof. This is proof. If I say those things and I believe them and I share them with you and you listen and you take that in and at your own pace, you start saying those things, guess what happens? You start saying them to other people and then they share it with other people and you're changing something from the ground up, but you're never going to change something from the top down. Guten Abend, Lee. How are you? So remember that you can change yourself. I live sometimes rent-free in the brains of all of you in some capacity. Yeah, there you go. Diana just said it. You live rent-free in my head. Yeah, patience is a virtue. The more you wait and be patient, yeah, the divine will give it to you. Well, not wait, but be patient. Yes, absolutely. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You got it, Kat. So... Oh, thanks, Amethyst. Amethyst just said, you're a true creator, never changed. Been watching you for almost 3 years or so. I appreciate it. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate it too. Look, I've been saying these things. This is true. I've been saying these things for, at this point, over 4 years. There is nothing different in what I say today than what I said 4 years ago when I first came on TikTok. You know? Hi, Elizabeth. Because I really do believe it, and I try to live by it. Hi, Manisha. So near future is the magician. You have all the tools to manifest everything you could ever want. It's up to you. Are you going to use the tools? What are you using them for? What kind of tools, actually? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it so, so much. You are, Lucia. I know you've been here for 3 years with me. Many of you have been here with me a long time. But even if you haven't been with me a long time, it's not always about the length of time. It's about the connection or what we all bring to each other. That's the key. Hi, Tavish. How are you? There's the MasterCard. MasterCard. I don't mean credit card. Master as in discipline. How disciplined are you to manifest the things that you want? Right? It's all about discipline. Thank you. I appreciate it. A lot of people do change over time. And you know what, Amethyst? I'll put it to you this way. I have changed. Yes, I have changed. But that change has really just been growth. You know, I can't necessarily always believe everything. And I mean from like my own experiences and like I once thought something to be true in my own life for me. But the growth and checking my work has made me understand that there was something bigger than what I was experiencing. Oh, you mean they get money hungry? Yeah, I understand that too. I mean, look, everybody's got to pay their bills, but they don't need to gouge. That's just always my view. That's always my view. I try to stay very affordable because I want consistency. I don't want a one-off. Like, I don't want a one-off. I want to help. I want to be able to pay my bills, of course, but I'm not here to gouge anybody. So I appreciate that, Virginia. Hi, Teeny. Thank you. I do appreciate it. You have all the tools. Amazing. You're welcome, Rasta. Thank you. So let's see, near future, discipline, see comfort zone. This card, I really don't like this card because it looks like she has saran wrap or cling wrap on her face. But this is basically about getting out of the comfort zone. The only way to make things different is to be disciplined and push through. Is there anything that I really missed from my past energy ventures? No. 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 You couldn't get me to go back to a week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. There is no way. No. Once you know things or you've learned things, in my opinion, you can't unknow them. You can't unsee them. You know what I mean? Matt, absolutely. You have great energy to help people. You're a very kind soul. Bye, Lucia. Have a wonderful dinner. Victoria, the link is in the description box. I do private readings as well. Hi, Delilah. How are you? So let's see. Suggested approach. I mean, would you guys really want to go backwards? I wouldn't. I've had many, many amazing memories, but I believe that the best memories are ahead of us. I can't change the past. You wouldn't go back, Lynn. I wouldn't go back. No, nothing could convince me. No. Suggested approach right now is the Page of Pentacles, studying and learning. So here you go, study and learn and recognize. You might get an offer of some kind. You might be recognized for something really nice and important. But you really need to put that learning into yourself, right? Every experience you've had, it shapes you for the future. And there's the dice. Are you ready to roll the dice? Are you ready to make a move? It's hard sometimes, right? But no risk, no reward. You've got to find a way to put yourself in new energy or a new position. Oh, I appreciate that. I was your calmness when your brain was so chaotic. I am very lucky that I'm a very calm person. I hear that all the time. I don't know how I inherited that genetically or like energetically, but yeah, I'm very calm. I feel like I have to be, you know, because what choice do I have? If I get worked up or excited about something in ways that are not good for me, it's not going to help. Good. I'm really proud of you. Amanda, that's amazing. So let's see, what else? Wish fulfillment. What do you wish for? What do you want? What do you want? Clearly decide what you want. And that's hard sometimes, right? So what do we need to know right now is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is about filling your own cup. I really appreciate that, Neon. Thank you. A DV situation is very, very difficult. And I appreciate your kind words. That means a lot to me. I always hope that I bring enough. You have no idea how many days or how many nights, I know this is going to sound really cheesy, how many days or nights I go to sleep and I say, did I do enough? Did I do enough? Can I do enough? When I was in the classroom, it was the same thing. I would go home and say, did I help this student enough? Was I kind enough? Was I too hard? You know, even some days when I'm on here and I'm talking about real life things and I'm, you know, and I know it triggers. I know it does. I don't do it on purpose to trigger you. I do it because I want to speak the truth and I want to help people. And I know not everybody can handle it. But people often come back to me much later and say, you know what? You were right. And it's not about being right or wrong. They'll say, I needed to hear this, or I couldn't see it at the time. And all I hope is that I give some knowledge or something to you that makes you think every angle and say, how can I have better? How can I feel better? How can I achieve what I want? Because I feel like if I don't tell you, who's going to tell you? I appreciate it, Sarah. I really do. People who come to me are coming to me for honesty. They're not coming to me for fluff. I appreciate that, Neon. Thank you. You share my links with everyone. Thank you. I'm glad that I was able to help you. And it means a lot to me. Like, seriously, I could cry thinking about it because, like I said, sometimes you guys don't know. I think about this a lot, a lot. I have for a very long time. I'm very sensitive in that aspect because I want to make sure that I'm always giving my best, right? So, oh, thanks, Amanda. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Mauro. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, Debbie. Like, as a teacher, this has been why I've been a teacher for now over 20 years, you know, and also why when I got the opportunity to go back to teaching for even a short time, in this September, I'll be back in the classroom. There is a part of me that misses that too, because it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. And it does mean a lot to me. Thank you, Dana. It means a lot. There's the yarn. Complicated. Is it truly complicated, or are we making it complicated? That is the question. And I would say 99% of the time, we make it complicated. Your daughter's a teacher too? Nice. And I'm sure she thinks about those same things as a teacher. Do we do enough? But the thing that we ignore, and this is just, again, from learning experience, you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. You can't please everyone. You can try, but you can't always be everything to everyone. Thank you, Scotty. Very kind. What type of new energy ventures have caused me to flinch and walk away? I haven't, Maria, to be honest with you. Sorry, Amanda, with what? I don't know if I read it before or if I missed it. I know that YouTube's sometimes slower in the comments, so just want to make sure. But you get called selfish when you feel, well, if somebody calls you selfish for taking care of yourself, then that's a them problem, you know? Oh, I appreciate that. I hope so. I think, Amanda, you know, I say this respectfully, because Amanda just said, I know how to love others without loving myself. I never said you don't know how to love others. What I'm saying is that in order to really be able to give from a full cup, you have to fill your own cup. Otherwise, that's just overgiving. And overgiving just depletes us and makes us sick and wears us down. Jacob, a deck of cards. Deck of cards. Hi, Ginger. How are you? You know, we have to be able to take care of ourselves. I cannot, right, exactly. That's why, Amanda, I'm always saying overgiving, overdoing, and problem solving does nothing for us. Zero. People will take, they will want to keep us in an energy that suits them, not us. And that's why we have to stop this overgiving. It doesn't mean that people are going to love us because we overgive. And I think that's part of what we're looking for when we're overgiving, right? Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Oh, Ginger, I'm sorry to hear that. You're feeling stressed, hurt. Don't say that it's normal. It's not normal. That's not your everyday. Maybe it's how you feel right now. But important to shift out of that energy. Okay, so the yarn card, the complication, we need the courage to make a change, to pack the bags and make a move. It takes a lot of courage. It's not easy. Not easy. I admire when people can make moves like that. And we talk about this. It's power moves. We're not here to go laterally, like left and right or backwards. We need to go forward. And it's hard. Hi, Jackie. How are you? So let's see what's the hope and or fear. King of Pentacles. It's a long road. Oh, it's abundant. It is in the long run. But man, the fear is that it's going to take too long. It doesn't have to. It all depends on the decisions we make along the way, the detours that we take, right? And let's see what else we need to know. The olive branch, surrender. It could be that someone reaches out or extends the olive branch. That is possible. You guess karma only shows up in my videos. Oh, Dana, yeah. I mean, Pandy every now and again, yes, but Tarot's not ready for that yet. It is a hard change, Arch Girl, and I'm sending you lots of love because it means sort of like a new you, even though it is you, right? It's a different version of you. I don't look at it as like a new you maybe, but like an innovation and an improved version. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking it's like an overall change. So I send you a lot of love. Hi, David. How are you? I know Pandy's here. She's here. She's sleeping on the couch right now. But, oh, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it. I'm well. I'm well. Thank you, Jackie. I don't know if I answered you before. The olive branch says truce and surrender. You're welcome. And let's see what else we need to know. The fear is the doubts. I told you, the lack or the doubts. Merci beaucoup. I appreciate it. And let's take a look at the probable outcome. Am I a patient person with myself? Yes. Yeah. Look, am I human? Absolutely. And I know that when I answer your questions, Maria, I know it sounds like it's so easy for me when I say, well, no, I don't flinch or I don't. Look, I'm human. I certainly have my moments. Nothing is perfect. But the thing that I am very blessed with is I'm blessed with understanding the bigger picture. Hi, Sonia. Welcome. My dad growing up used to always say, you know, look, if you got to make it or break it, you're always going to make it. And I have this mentality or this optimism in me that says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. Watch me, right? That's very much my father's energy. The other thing is that I can understand why people do what they do, even if I don't agree with it. So it's not a judgment. It's not a, I'm upset with anybody. I understand it. I can see the reasonings behind it, why they make the decisions that they do. That means, how can I really get angry? What's the point of getting angry? You know, and I talk about this with my ex-husband, as in like the story of my ex-husband all the time. Look, do I like the things that he did? No. Do I think he's a good person? Yes. Do I want to be in a relationship with him? No. Do I wish him well? Absolutely. I don't have to be in a relationship. I don't have to live with it on the day-to-day, but I can understand it. I know my ownership in it. I know where I went wrong. It doesn't justify bad behavior on his part, but on the other hand, I get it. And that's the choice he made, and that's the consequence of it. And I'm okay with that. And so when you ask me those questions, that's why I give you those answers, because for me, it's an understanding of the human condition and why people do what they do. I've had that my whole life. And I used to think it was a blessing and a curse. Now it's definitely more of a blessing, because I used to think, why can't I be mad? Why can't I be like, you know, motherfucker, cocksucker, piece of shit? Like, why? And I mean, I can do that every now and again, of course. But my point is that I'm not going to dwell on negative things or shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because it's only going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt the other person. It's going to hurt me. And I just constantly make the choice that I don't want to hurt myself. Right? So, hi, Jay. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Hi, Tori. Thank you. Sorry, I meant to say hi. I hope your day is great too. So let's see. What is the probable outcome? 7 of Wands. Are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? Are you ready to stand up, or are you going to be like a wounded animal in the corner? Which one is it? I say we stand up. So let's see what else we need to know. The crystal ball. Trust your intuition. That's all it is. Look, there's no right or wrong. This is what I was saying earlier. Everybody is human. You're going to make decisions. You're going to have moments where you maybe make a mistake, and that's okay. Hi, Keziah. You're standing up, Kelly? Good. I'm glad to hear that. But again, it's like being a Roomba vacuum. What have I been saying? Again, I'm repeating myself for the last 4 years here on social media. Be a Roomba vacuum. A Roomba vacuum spins around the room. It hits the wall and redirects itself. That's all you got to do. Make a decision, see where it takes you. No harm, no foul. What's the big deal? So what? We make a mistake. We're human beings. See where it takes you. And nothing that's meant for you is ever going to pass you by, ever. If somebody doesn't see your value, well, that's on them. Wow, they really missed out. Like, what are you going to do? It's not the right fit, and that's okay. Sometimes it isn't. It isn't the right fit. Hi, Harris. How are you? So it is what it is. I mean, and I hate to say that sometimes, but it's true. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, brush yourself off and keep going. That's it. There's no other option. What are you going to do? Force somebody? Like, I'm going to force somebody to want to be with me? I'm going to want to force somebody to apologize to me? I'm going to force somebody to do what I want them to do? How would I feel if the shoe was on the other foot? Like, imagine for a second that somebody was trying to push you into something you didn't want to do. I mean, like, nobody likes that. I know I don't like it. There's the Ace of Pentacles, and this is beautiful as a probable outcome because this is a new home, new job, new relationship, all new energy. Kelly, all you can do is go for it and see what happens. Exactly, Sarah, exactly. Good for you, Keziah. You have the patience to keep going. I'm very proud of you. All right, shall we take let's take one last card. Let's get a little bit of guidance here. And I think we should use the Inner Child Oracle because I kind of feel like some of us are struggling with some old wounds. Sorry, pardon me. I'm trying to reach the deck here. Deck with an E. Yeah. Let's see. What's some last bit of guidance we need to know? See, I took a breath, right? As soon as I read it, it said, breathe in, practice breath work today. Take a deep breath sometimes, you know, when you're in that moment of like frustration. Thank you, Barry. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. Honestly, it's going to be okay. If you believe it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. If you think something is going to be shit, it's going to be shit. Don't do that to yourself. Be true to who you are. It's what I said earlier. Look, not everybody's for everybody. You're not going to be into everybody who's into you and vice versa. If someone doesn't connect with you, okay. It's all good. If they can't see your value, that says more about them than it does about you, or they don't understand, that's okay. Fear will not stop you from shining. Don't be afraid. If you only knew what was on the other side of fear, and I have been afraid many times, but afterwards I'm like, why was I so afraid? You know, I've talked about this before. Do you remember the book, the children's book, the Grover from Sesame Street book, The Monster at the End of This Book? If you don't know The Monster at the End of This Book, go read it. If you have a child, buy that book. If you have a grandchild, buy that book. It is the sweetest book because when I was a little kid, my mom used to read it to me all the time. And every page was about why you shouldn't turn the page because at the end, there's a monster at the end of the book. He would tie the pages with ropes, and then when you turn the page, you'd see all the ropes being broken and cut, and he'd be like, you turn the page. Or he'd try to cement the bricks up the page and tell you not to turn the page, and then you'd turn the page, and of course all the bricks would be like crumbled to the ground, and he would say, you turn the page. And of course, spoiler alert, who is the monster at the end of this book? The name of the book is The Monster at the End of This Book. It's a Sesame Street book with Grover. I mean, it's okay to express them and to feel them, Amanda, just not let them linger. That's the difference. Feel it. If you're mad, scream. If you're mad, I don't know, do what you got to do, but don't let it linger. There's nothing wrong with feeling feelings, I would say. So yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite books and one of my most memorable lessons reading with my mom. And so who's the monster at the end of the book? It's Grover. He's the lovable, furry Grover. And so was there anything to be afraid of? No. No, because he's a lovable monster. Oh, you're very sweet, Midas. Thank you. It's okay. It wasn't meant to be. That's all. And I'm okay with that. Any man that fumbles me, that's what they get. That's what they get. Yeah, look for that book, Kelly. It's on Amazon. It's called The Monster at the End of This Book. Thank you, Neon. Or TV Ontario, Matt, had all the French shows and English shows too, right? Your anger comes in waves, you're fine for a while, and then it comes back again. I understand, but it's a matter of letting go. That's the key. So one last card here. Flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. Go dance in your kitchen. Go dance in the kitchen. Go do something that makes you feel good. Listen to a nice song or new music. You had that book, Sharon? That's one of my favorites, actually. One of my favorites. Well, my friends, I got to get going because I have a session very soon, and I need to sort of have something to drink, have a small snack. But I really do appreciate your time, these deep chats. And I'm sorry, I know they're deep. Maybe that's what we needed today. I don't know. Thank you, Jennifer. You too. Maybe that's what we needed to have today. Yeah, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm. Rhythm of the Night. That's a song I love to listen to. That says my age, but DeBarge. Great song. Thank you, Kat. You too. Yeah, good music and chocolate. I love chocolate. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you, Nan. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jackie. You too. Yeah, that's a great dance song. I love that song. I'm glad you needed that. Yeah, tough talks or deep talks sometimes. You're welcome, Peter. I mean, look, that's what I'm here for. I love giving every angle of everything so that we can analyze and look at the bigger picture. And if I did that, then I've accomplished something today. So thank you. All right, my friends, you're welcome. You're amazing too, Sarah. Thank you. You love that song too? Yeah. I mean, those were great songs. Those were great songs. Hi, Margarita. Take care, Becca. Sending you lots and lots of love. I'll talk to you soon. Nice seeing you. Yes, always a pleasure. I thank you. Thanks, Virginia. Thank you, Margarita. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Lady in red today. I found a bunch of t-shirts that I hadn't worn, and I was like, and they're all the same shirt, of course, typical me. They're like in every color. Have it in blue, black, red, yellow. Although the yellow, I don't know. In this background doesn't really match, but anyways, maybe one day I'll wear it. All right, my friends. Thank you, Tila. Take care to you too. Thanks, Carla. All right, everybody. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to say goodbye to IG right now, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye. All right, everybody on YouTube, thank you so much. Thank you to my moderators. You guys are amazing. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. What kind of chocolate? All chocolate. I love chocolate. It's my weakness. All right, everybody. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.